Hi guys, this is Grace. Um, it's quarantine time is still going on. Um, we have 2 more weeks left of class. We have the Mother's Day project that we're doing today, and then we have a fun project that we're doing next week. Now, on my email that I sent y'all last week or last Friday, I said that there is a way via Zoom application that you are, all of us can be together on the video and you'll be able to see my desktop. There's certain things that I wanted to show you, and it's kind of hard to show them through you this way because you can barely see my screen. So I thought that we could try to do it that way. So far, I have 3 of y'all that have shown interest. So I think we can go ahead and do it with 3. Um, so we'll set it up for next week, which will be um, April 22nd, and we'll do it at 1 o'clock, and that'll be our last project. But I'll send you the instructions again this coming Friday. So for this week, I know Mother's Day is still a ways off, but since we have 2 classes left, I thought we'd touch base and do something for Mother's Day. So I went ahead and sent y'all the information and the SVG for this Happy Mother's Day um, decal. I thought it was pretty cute and colorful. Um, and again, I modified it to what I originally had said because I know that we're all struggling for supplies. I do have a lot of vinyl. I have a lot of cardstock, a lot of HTV, but I didn't have the exact colors I needed. So I had to improvise. Um, so I went ahead and got this SVG because I saw it and I thought it was colorful and cute. And I wanted to work a little bit more with vinyl, with the regular vinyl, not HTV. So I originally had told y'all in the instructions that we wanted a white ceramic cup. I didn't have one, and I couldn't go to the store to buy one. So my daughter had this vase, and it's just a little vase. See, it's tiny. And so I said, well, can I have this? And she says, what do you want it for? And I said, well, it's for a project. She says, you're doing projects? I said, well, yeah, I'm still trying to send projects to the class. So she let me have this little vase, and it's glass, so it was cool. So I said, okay, well, I'll do that. Now, the tricky part of it is, see how it's oval? So it's not flat. So there's going to be a way of working with vinyl when you're working with a rounded object or not a flat surface. All right. So I sent you the SVG. So I'm going to go ahead and go on to Cricut. And of course, you're going to upload your SVG as normal. I have it right here. It's already uploaded. And I'm going to go and insert my image. And here it is. And it comes out kind of big. You see it? And it's pretty cute and colorful and everything. So always duplicate your SVG because you never know when you're going to mess up the one of them. And if you do have a backup, you already have it on the desktop. But not remember that you always have it in your images. So I already have one here. This is my duplicate. So now it looks kind of pretty and everything. But now if you look on the right hand side, you can see that it's grouped. So this is all grouped together. So if you move it around, you're able to move it all together. So the first thing you have to do is you have to take your item, the one that you're going to use to put your item in, and you're going to have to measure. Okay? You're going to have to measure to see how big and how wide, how tall and how wide. You're going to need that decal so it can look good on your either cup, vase, or whatever object you're going to put it on. So I figured that on mine, I wanted it at least 3 inches high and about 3 inches wide as well. Okay, I think it look good like that. So I went ahead and made the SVG smaller to fit my item. So as you start making it smaller or bigger, I needed this to be at least 3 inches both ways. So I'm going to go to here, and there it is. Okay, so that's 3 inches right there. Now, it was only 2 inches up and down, but it was 3.03. So I kind of wanted it a little bit more even. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit wider. And I think this will work for me. So I'm going to make it, again, it depends on your item that you're going to put it on. So I'm going to make it 3.5 by 2.3. Okay, that'll work for me. So then the next thing you have to do is you need to go in there. In the meantime, I'm going to go and just hide this one because I want to go and look at it and see if everything is grouped, everything looks good together before I can start to cut. So I'm going to go in there and click make it so I can see it. And I'm using my Cricut Joy. Here, let me show it to you. This is my new baby, the Cricut Joy. Okay, so the Cricut Joy, you're able to use it just with a vinyl, the strip vinyl. You can just feed it in and it works. Or you can use your little mat. Okay, so it comes with a little mat. It also comes with this special mat where you can insert your card in and you can make greeting cards. This is super awesome. You all need to see this. All right, so for this project, I'm going to use this. But I'm going to use my Cricut Joy to cut it. So when you first go, well, first of all, let me do, I'm going to say that I'm going to use the mat because it gives you options. It's asking you, are you using it just the vinyl plain on the machine? Are you using this mat? Or are you using the greeting card mat? So you have to tell it which mat you're using. So for me, I'm going to use it on the mat. And then I'm going to click done. Okay? And see how it shows my little mat with the item in there. But right away, I already see that my item is not attached because all of my little particles on my leaves are all separated. They're not together. Then I keep on looking at the second mat, and again, the same thing. See how everything is not grouped? So that gives me an idea that I'm going to have to go back and I'm going to have to group it. So I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to go back to my design space, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to ungroup. Okay, so here it's ungrouped. So now I'm going to go to the first thing, and I'm going to see that it's already selecting all of my items that are going to be in pink, which is the happy and that middle flower. And the reason I know this is because over here on the right side, all of them are selected. They're a little darker than the others. So all I need to do is then attach. So I'm going to hit attach. Okay. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the leaves. And the same thing again. I see all of my leaves are already selected together. So I'm going to go in and attach that too. Okay. Then the next thing I'm going to select is going to be my purple flower. And I'm going to attach it to just in case. Then I'm going to go to the Mother's Day part. And I'm going to attach it as well. Okay. So now I think it looks good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there and make it, and I'm going to see how those mats look like. Again, it's giving you the selection. So how are you going to print it? Are you going to print it on regular mat, or are you just going to put in the vinyl by itself? How are you going to do it? So I'm going to do it with a mat. And the reason I'm doing it with a mat is because I'm going to start using my little scraps. Remember I mentioned to you how important it is to keep your scraps? I keep mine on this little baggie, and I label it vinyl. And so whenever I need to do little projects like these, and I have the color in here already, I don't have to go in there and open a whole packet of vinyl. I just use my little scraps. So because I'm using little scraps, I'm going to use my Joy, and I'm going to use this little mat. All right, so now if you see the mat, and if you look at it a little closer, see how it's all together? That's my first one. Here's my second one. See how Mother's Day looks all together and pretty? Then my purple flower, and then everything in my pink. All right, so when I went in and did my flowers look real cute. They cut easy, and everything looked good. When I went ahead and did my Mother's Day, I did have some problems with the Mother's Day wording because it was being cut so tiny. So I had to go in and modify it. I had to go in and make it a little bigger. So the other problem that I came across is, and let me go back to, okay, on Mother's Day right here, I wanted to make the little flower right here by the pink flower. That one has to remain the same size because it fits in like a puzzle. And so if I'm going to make Mother's Day a little bigger, because remember I'm having problems with the word Mother's Day, I have to make that flower bigger as well because remember we attached it. So I said, okay, well maybe I can unattach it. So I'm going to bring it out. Maybe I can unattach it and maybe I can take that off. So I went ahead and detached it. Then I went in and said, okay, well I'm going to separate the Mother's Day and the ribbon from the flower because I want to keep the flower the same size, but I'm going to make that Mother's Day a little bigger. So when I tried to do that, I was like, okay, well I can just go in there in shapes, get a little square box, and I'm going to make my square box a little smaller. I'm going to put it over my little flower, and I'm going to slice it up, right? Smarty. So I went in and selected the whole thing, and guess what? Slice is not an option. So I was like, darn, okay. I said, all right, I have another thing that I can do. So I went in here, and I took the little square off because the square wasn't going to help me. I deleted it, and I said, okay, I can use contour, and I can take that little flower out. Well, guess what? Contour wasn't available either. So I was like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to have to do. So what I did is I went ahead and printed it like that, just so I could keep the little flower. Then I went ahead and came back and resized Mother's Day. I just made it a little bigger so the letters would work together. And then I kept the ribbon but not the flower. So that's how you're gonna have to maneuver it to make it work. Now remember, not all SVGs are just friendly. Now the other thing that I did is I wanted Happy and that pink flower, I wanted that in glitter vinyl. So this is a Cricut brand, as you can see. Now how can you tell that this is vinyl? Well, it's got a paper backing. Okay, this is a Cricut, but this is glitter. Okay, then I used regular 651 for, let me see, can you see it? Yeah. I use Oracle 651 for the other colors. And again, these are scraps, little scraps of paper that I had because, and then I have my purple and then my green. Let me show you my green. Now, when I started using my transfer tape, I had to use my strong grip, remember the purple letters, for my glitter, and then I had to use the regular Cricut brand for my other vinyl. So again, if you're going to be using different vinyls, make sure you have the right transfer tape for each one of them, because if not, then you're not going to be able to pull those letters out. So then, okay, so because they were all grouped together and I was able to cut them all out, then the next question was, how am I going to place them on my object? Okay, so I'm going to place them all together. Well, this is where you have to be a little careful because your item is not flat. Okay, so the best way that I wanted to do mine was I wanted to do it in layers. So I wanted to do it one by one, by colors. So the first one, because I knew that pink one was going to be my very first item, that was going to be my first item, and then everything else I could grow on it or place on it, I went ahead and decided that my Happy and that pink flower was going to be the first thing I was going to do. So that's the first thing I placed. I placed it down here because it was going to be in the bottom, and then of course my Happy up here. Then the next one, I did the purple flower and the other flower. I placed them on each end. Then I went ahead and placed my leaves, and the last thing that I placed was my Mother's Day ribbon. Okay, so now if you look at it, this is how it turned out. Doesn't it look cute? Now you can see that the ribbon is a little bigger, but I had to do it in order for this Mother's Day to show up, because if not, it would cut it up and it wasn't coming, it wasn't very easy to weed. So you had to do it this way. So I hope y'all enjoy the project. I hope that we can continue doing the project for next week. I'll go ahead and send the link for that video conference, and we can see how it works. If y'all have not worked with Zoom before, it's an application that you can do it via your computer, and we'll be able to see each other, as well as I'm going to share my desktop with y'all so y'all can see my desktop. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can join us, and we'll see you next week. Bye.